This is Trevor Benko, CEO of TGB Supplements.
This is Ben Jordan, COO of TGB Supplements.
Today we're going to go back and do a little bit of an introduction to our channel. We're going to tell you guys a little bit about why we're doing the channel, what made us decide to actually start posting on YouTube in the first place, and just give you a little bit of background information about ourselves. So I guess to get started, the reason, what really kind of kicked it off, we had been, wanting to do it for a while. Mainly it's just to put out quality information and share some of the knowledge that we have, and also connect with our customers that are not able to meet with us face to face or talk to us directly. So we kind of wanted to let you guys get to know us a little better. We get a lot of people in here from time to time, asking questions that are really, I guess, beginner type questions. Whether it's about steroids, supplements. You'd be shocked at how many people come in and are on a cycle of steroids but have no idea what supplements are or what they do, or they think they don't need supplements because they're using steroids. So that's our main reasoning, I would say, to get out there and just put out some quality information. Also, we watch a lot of YouTube, and sometimes the videos that we see about these subjects, they're just missing. We feel like they're missing a lot of information, and that they could be done better as far as the knowledge being put out there. So that's why we started doing the videos.
Yeah, guys kind of put out, like Trevor was saying, they beat around the bush a little bit. There's a lot of information left to be wanted about a topic. I mean, we wanted to go in depth. Sometimes we do go a little bit too far, but that's just us. We're extremists in nature with that, because we want to make sure that we give you guys the utmost amount of information that we have upon it, because knowledge is power in the fitness industry.
Yeah, and if you're going to do something, you might as well do it to the best of your ability. And since this is both of our passions, this is what we love, this is what we do every day, and this is how we make a living. We have a lot of knowledge in this. Every single day we do research and read studies. And just look up different things that most people don't have the time to do because they work normal jobs. So it's frustrating when we see somebody getting ripped off by a supplement company that's out there just for the money, or somebody that's running a cycle that doesn't even have a base yet. They don't even know how to train or diet properly.
Yeah, or has no idea what an aromatase inhibitor is.
Yeah, don't know how to prevent the side effects, don't even know what they're getting into. And they think, oh, well, D-ball is not very hard on the liver, so I'll just do that for 6 weeks and just come off, and I should be fine. But then they come off and they lose all their gains, they get depressed, and then they have all kinds of problems. And that's usually when we get people coming in like, oh man, I messed up, I made a mistake, I got gynecomastia, is there anything I could do? And we always do our best to help them, but it's just frustrating, that people are making these choices in the first place. So, whether it helps one person or 1,000 people or whatever, we just feel like it's good to share our knowledge and put some good information out there.
Yeah, a lot of times things like Trevor was saying, the younger guys, even older guys, if they would have had that one little bit of knowledge, or if they'd just listened to one person that gave a good bit of information, it would have prevented them from even having that kind of problem.
And we're not saying we know everything, we definitely don't. We learn every single day. But if we don't know something, we research it and we know enough to figure it out. If we'll look at the information and figure it out, or we'll contact people that have the knowledge. We have a lot of connections in the industry, and that's what we do. So we really just want to share what we have and give back. Bodybuilding, training, weightlifting, whatever you want to call it, saved my life. It's I was into drug addiction, stuff like that. This is the one thing that kind of kept me on the right path. So for me, it feels good to give back to other people, and just try to help somebody out in a positive way. A lot of times, if you have an addictive personality, this is the best thing you can have in your life, because it does take an addictive personality to be good or successful at training and bodybuilding. Or just living a healthy lifestyle in general, because it's 24/7, every single day. There's no breaks. It's all the time. And somebody that has that addictive personality is always chasing that feel-good effect, and that's what living a healthy lifestyle gives you.
Yeah, I mean, there's people, they ask me all the time, like, what are you going to do whenever you get happy, you're satisfied? I'll say, I'll stop. Any of us, it's a sickness in the head to push ourselves to that extreme limit, to constantly want to better yourself. if you ever do get satisfied with where you're at with your body, you won't have that mental drive to continue to push hard in the gym, so you might as well stop.
Everybody does it for different reasons too. You know, some people do it just to look good or to impress other people, to impress women, you know, whatever your goal may be. Some people want to bodybuild, some people want to get better at certain sports. For me, it's about challenging myself and, you know, making myself quit every day. You know, I want to train to the point that I fail every single day. That way I know that I'm going to be tougher than the guy that may come up, you know, and I may have an issue with, or if I'm training with another guy, you know, I know that I'm going to be able to push harder than what they will, because I do this every single day, and I'm willing to push further than what they are. And that I enjoy that part of it, almost like beating yourself up more than the bodybuilding part. Even though I really enjoy that, it's just that's my personal satisfaction comes from the weight training itself. That pushing yourself, that's what I really like.
Yeah, I myself, I really like seeing the changes and everything like that. Love training in the gym, a lot of volume, strength, just being in there. That's kind of like my escape, so I can train for hours, 2 hours, and it's that constant change that keeps me going.
Yeah, I mean, and I've been training since I was a little kid. I started when I was 12 years old, and it was always the one outlet I had. So it's for me, it's just something that I always do. And you know, at some points you don't even make changes anymore. And some guys have a hard time training when they're during those periods if they're not running a cycle. Some guys can't train. With me, I have to train. It doesn't matter if I'm taking something or not. I have to go to the gym. I have to let that out. Otherwise, my addictive and negative personality can start to come out, where I want to search that happy feeling in other things, which would lead me to drugs or alcohol and so on. And so that I really enjoy helping people that have you know, previous history with drug use and whatnot. I like helping them, you know, turn it into a positive and use that towards driving positive energy force, I guess you could say.
Yeah, like Trevor was saying about training without being under the usage of a compound, or and we're all about the safety of performance-enhancing compounds. We love them ourselves, especially with the younger guys. You got to be able to train without being under the influence of a compound, because it's not something you can just rely upon all the time.
Yeah, and you can't always steadily make improvements. And, you know, when you've been training for a lot of years, it gets to the point where it's very hard to make any improvement or progress. So during those times, that's what's going to differentiate the winner or the champion from just another guy, is who can push themselves even when they don't have that enhancement behind them. You know what I mean? Are you going to be able to go to the gym and still push harder than the guy that is using steroids? That's what makes a difference. And that, for me, is what I like, is the challenge, the mental part. I like knowing that I'm not taking anything, or if I'm just on a replacement dose of testosterone, and being able to train harder than a guy that's running 1,000 milligrams or more, because in my mind, that's how strong I feel I am, and that's what I'm going to do, you know, and you're going to push yourself to that level. If you ever feel like you're too strong, or you look too good, or you know, you got to that point where you reached the top, what's the point? That's the thing what Ben said, it's never going to happen. That's just the way it is with your personality. So you have to accept that, and you just want to continue to get better every day.
Honestly, it's like a pre-workout. You know what I mean? Guys, they can't think, oh, I can't get in there and I can't train hard without that pre-workout. Well, eventually you take a break because your adrenals are shot. You might run just a straight nitric oxide product like high volume or something, and after about 3 days you feel the same. You know what I mean? So a lot of that's mental, having to be under the influence of a compound.
I think when you're training with weights, you're not just training your muscles, you're training your mental ability to push yourself, you're disciplining yourself, and you're teaching yourself, you know, that discipline of not quitting, you know, and you know, no matter what your goal may be, that you continue pushing and doing your best no matter what. And that's a big part of it, you know. So before we get too far off track and we make this another half-hour video,
like always,
yeah, get back to the main topic here. You know, we want to help people. We're tired of seeing people get ripped off by these companies that are just out there for the money. We're tired of seeing these pyramid-type companies that, you know, try to get you, lure you in, and tell you that you're going to make all this money selling supplements. And they only have one product line. They're overcharging for their products, and they want you to sell them so you can make money and get people underneath you, so then they sell them and you make money on them. They're not focusing on the main thing, which is the product itself. You know, that's the main thing. You should be putting a product out that sells itself. If it's a good product, that's what it should do. And there's just so many companies out there, just people just trying to make money any way they can, and they're taking advantage of people that don't have the time to do the research and actually look into it on their own, because you're busy making a living, working a job, taking care of your family, training, and so on. You just don't have time for that. So that's what we want to be here for, to help give you honest information. We truly will give you our honest opinion. We're never going to just be biased. We're never going to try to just push one line. You know, we're truly going to be honest, because it doesn't matter to us. When we were barely surviving, we were still doing the same exact thing we're doing now, and that's the way it's going to continue. In fact, we don't even want to get to the point where we're like a mainstream chain business. We don't want to do that. That's just not who we are. We want to keep our values and what makes us different. And the big thing is having that personal connection and that ability to call either one of us and talk, and about your personal issues or whatnot, and get a true, honest opinion. And like I said, it's our opinion, so it doesn't mean we're not putting out any kind of medical advice or anything like that. We're just giving you our true, honest opinion, and based off of our experiences, personal, and from what we see every day. We're big believers on getting blood work, safety, like Ben said. If you're going to use performance-enhancing drugs, we want to make sure that you have the knowledge to try to save yourself the best you can and take care of yourself. That's the type of stuff we want to put out there.
Yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, we want to get you guys the maximum amount of gains or strength, whatever, like Trevor's saying, sport. We want to help you do your best and push your limits with the utmost safety behind it. And that's what we tell every customer that comes in. I mean, if we're blatantly honest with them, like, you're crazy, you need to get blood work, or I wouldn't recommend doing that. That's their choice whether to do it or not. But we've kind of been there, done that. We've seen guys with blood work, so, I mean, whether they take our word for it or not, I mean, we're trying to help them out, be as safety as possible.
And some people, they're not going to like that. They're not going to like that we're telling them, they want to do what they want to do. They want somebody to just be a yes man and tell them, yeah, that looks good, do that. We'll never do that. So, it's just not who we are. Overall, like we said, we're trying to prevent people from being ripped off. There are good supplement companies out there. There are good supplements. And there's a lot of natural, basic supplements that people are missing. And that type of stuff can protect you, especially if you're using performance-enhancing compounds. We're really interested in performance-enhancing drugs and compounds in general. Anything for performance enhancement, whether it's a type of workout, or a diet, drug, anything. Food, peptides, whatever. That stuff interests us because we love watching the body change, and we want to make the body as efficient as possible at building muscle and being as strong as possible. So, for many reasons, that pretty much covers everything. That's why we're here, and we plan on putting out a lot of different types of videos covering all the different compounds, stuff that is pretty rare and others may not have heard about, even just down to the basic stuff like protein, creatine. We're going to put it out there. Some of the videos you might not like, they may not be as interesting as others, but we're going to try to do our best to break it down into every little detail that we can. Just get as much information.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anything that you guys want us to touch on, like we were saying, we're kind of backtracking with this as our introduction. If it's something you haven't seen yet or something you're curious about, like us would touch on, shoot us a comment. We'll definitely consider it.
Yeah, I mean, you can follow us on social media, or reach out to us, email us directly at info@tgbsupplements.com, or you can call us 724-550-4241. Most likely you're going to speak to one of us, so if you give us a call, you'll actually be able to talk with us. We're never going to get to the point where we're too big to talk to our customers. That's the difference with us. I mean, that pretty much wraps it up. We have a podcast we've been working on as well. Now, with the podcast, we're going to go a little bit more into detail with the performance enhancement, and we're going to have experts in the field on there as well as professional athletes to talk about their experiences, and it's going to be open as well. So not many people want to talk openly about that stuff. So that's the whole goal with the podcast and the forum that's going to be around the podcast. But that's it for the video. This is pretty much our introduction to TGB supplements. If you guys need anything, reach out to us, and we got many more videos to come.